Hey guys, Chad Free here. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video that I have no clue what it is, to be honest with you. I was told that it's 5 ways to build wealth from another person who might be a financial strategist or wealth strategist. That's the field that I'm in. And I'm just going to react to it. I want to see what somebody else feels like it. I certainly don't know everything, but I am all about education and I am always trying to be better, 1% better every single day. But I'm fairly confident, pretty confident, quite confident in what we offer people. So let's do this. Let's check out what they say.
If you want to build wealth, there are 5 rules you need to know about. We're going to cover that in today's video. Before we get to that, there are 4 other rules. Number 1, like this video. Number 2, subscribe. Number 3, share. Number 4, have fun. All right, so 5 things to build a level of wealth. And I say a level of wealth because I can't predict the future. I don't know what's coming your way. I mean, who knows? In 2031,
All right, let's stop right there. I like the guy's honesty. He's not promising the whole wide world, right? He said we can't predict the future. So I like him so far.
Subway might be charging $12 for a foot long. You give them an inch, they take $1. Simpler times back in 1997, you got 2 inches for every dollar. But I can tell you from experience that if you're doing these 5 things, you will build a level of wealth 100% of the time. The first thing is to get on a budget. It's simple, yet very effective. Now, when I say budget, I'm talking about a written plan for your money that you recreate every single month. This gives you visibility and control so you can stop wondering where all your money went and start telling it where to go. You see, most people fly by the pleated seat of their khakis and have zero organization when it comes to their money. So you've got to ask yourself, if you were the chief financial officer for a company called You Incorporated, would you fire you? Don't answer that, but also pack up your stuff, bozo.
Fired? I can't fire me. I quit.
Now, the interesting thing about this is you can just decide today to make a budget. You get out the yellow pad or an Excel doc, or even better, use a budgeting app like EveryDollar and decide, I'm going to start managing money better starting today.
Okay, so a couple of items here. Number 1, I'm not going to knock anything you said because, a budget, that is smart. But let's talk reality. How many people like a budget? How many people like their envelopes and set amount of money in each one of them? Not knocking it. I think it's very important. But I will say that I'm going to hear him out, rest, whatever else he has to say. But what he just said is make a decision. He must make a decision that you're going to tell your money where to go. And so for that, I'm tracking. But reality, how many people really do this as far as get on a budget and stick to a budget? Kudos to you that do, but a lot of people, it's hard for them to do.
Today, because otherwise you're going to keep getting what you've been getting if you keep doing what you've been doing. So to build wealth, you've got to have a budget. The second thing is you've got to get out of debt. And Jamal, don't act like you didn't know I was going to say that. You saw that little R at the beginning of the video. You know what that stands for. It's not razzle dazzle. It's Ramsey, buddy. Maybe both. Give him that Ramsey razzle dazzle. And I'm not just saying this because Papa Dave tells me so. The Bible tells me so. It says the borrower is slave to the lender. Period. Well, the period's not in there. That's the Message version. To make that clear, don't want to be heretical. Look, your most powerful wealth building tool is your income, but you're spending about $500 of that wealth building tool on a car payment every month. But if you owned your car outright and instead invested $500 a month in a mutual fund from age 30 to age 65, you'd have $1.9 million, assuming a 10% rate of return. Again, that car loan is costing you almost $2 million. Time to rethink your debt. But lest we forget, someone is still getting rich in this equation, and it's not you. It's the auto lenders and the car companies. All the while, you're driving along wondering why your kid's college fund isn't funded when you're giving your money away to somebody else who has nice furniture, latte machines, and hordes of printer ink cartridges in their tall building. That is liquid gold, Jamal. And maybe you don't have a car payment, but maybe you've had student loans for so long you think it's a pet. I'm telling you, when you're in charge of your money in your life, it changes everything. So how do you get out of debt? Well, first, you have to decide not to borrow anymore. And I know, it's not normal in today's world. People tell me all the time, you're weird, George. And let me tell you, normal is broke. So I'm totally fine being a weirdo. All right, I promise you're not going to guess the next thing on the list that will...
Okay, let's stop right there. So debt and taxes, those are 2 of the biggest things that we focus on when we are contributing and we are accumulating assets, because I too believe that depreciating assets and consumer debt, we are truly losing money. And so imagine a bucket, and you're putting money in this bucket and you're hoping and praying for a certain rate of return, but you're not paying attention to the holes at the bottom of the bucket. And that's interest, or that's taxes, right? So again, this is education. Now, he talked about paying that off. I have heard, and I did see the R. So wow, right when it came on, there's a different approach I think that can be had, and I'm just going to call it like it is. You know, we're not asking you to sell your car and ride a bicycle to work. We're not asking you to start eating beef jerky instead of going out for a nice steak dinner with your spouse. Okay. And I think there's a way that you can truly meet people where they are, come up with a plan that can truly help folks accomplish this same thing without making them feel this big. Let's face it, we are a consumer driven society, and we're going to buy things. Now, I'm familiar with his debt snowball, and I think there's a whole lot better way using the debt snowball. That's for a different topic. But the mutual fund, we don't want to talk about fees inside that mutual fund. And I mean, is that really 10%? Is that 10% average? Or, I can get you 10%. I can get you 25% average rate of return. Give me 100,000, you lose 50%, you're at $50,000. Well, what's it got to do to get back even? 100%. Well, I just gave you an average rate of return of 25%. I can manipulate those numbers for anything, right? The bottom line is you got to be in control of your money. And there's a better way to do it than some of this stuff that they talk about. All right. There's other ways to do this. I'm not saying he's wrong, but there's other ways to do it and continue to live your life.
Guarantee that you build wealth. Before we get to it, I want to give you a couple bonus wealth building tips. And the first is that if you're stowing away your savings like an emergency fund in a regular savings account, you are missing out on some serious interest. And that's why I recommend keeping funds like that in a high yield savings account like the one offered by online bank Laurel Road. With Laurel Road, your money earns 4.8% APY. Plus, there's no extra maintenance fees to worry about, and your deposits are FDIC insured. So if you want to get your money working harder for you, be sure to go to laurelroad.com/George to learn more, or just click the link in the description.
Hey, great marketing tactic, good information. He's got the /George on there. He's making money. All good, man. I have no problems with that. And it's truly helping people. If you got money just parked on the side, again, I think there's still other ways that you can do it. But high yield savings account, no worries there. Let's roll.
Description below. And the next bonus tip is to be a smart spender. Do your research, compare your prices, and don't settle for the status quo. For example, by switching your phone plan to...
Wait a minute. I wonder if he's actually done a reaction video to mine somewhere and it's out there, because I talk about status quo a lot, right? Status quo, disrupt the status quo. Do your homework. Raise your hand. Say, hey, I want to know more. What are all my options?
Tello from the big name companies, you can save a ton of money. Tello offers the same high-speed nationwide coverage for way cheaper. I'm talking $25 a month for the unlimited everything plan, and plans as low as $5. Plus, there's no contracts, no sneaky fees, and you can upgrade or change plans whenever you want. So to be a smart spender when it comes to your phone bill, go to tello.com/George, and you'll get an extra $5 off the unlimited data plan for your first month of service. Or click the link below.
All right, back to this right here. So, great ways to build wealth is promoting what you do, right? And putting it out there. You have to be a person of interest, so you have to get in front of people. And guess what? He is putting himself out there, and he is creating income by anybody that clicks on that /George. Then whoever signs up, and then whoever becomes a client or a customer of that said product, he's going to get money. So I'm going to give him kudos for that. I don't know if that's in one of his 5 stages of building wealth or not, but see, those are the little underlying things that maybe you thought about, maybe you didn't. See, I like to disrupt that status quo, and I like to be aware so I can be prepared. He's smart. He's very smart.
Back to the list. The third thing you can do to guarantee a level of wealth, make sure you foster high quality relationships. What's that got to do with money? everything. I mean, the same principle is why your mom wouldn't let you hang out with the delinquents behind the school bleachers at home games. She knew if she let you run around with troublemakers, you'd eventually land yourself in trouble.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it?
So face it, you talk like the people you hang around with. You watch the shows they talk about. You wear your socks like they do. Mid-cap for Gen Z, ankle for millennials. You become who you hang around. Now, I'm not some kind of jerk who only has rich friends, but my closest friends are people I want to be like. They're responsible, they're hardworking, they're lifelong learners, they listen to pop punk, and they're intentional with the important things in life, including their money. The fourth thing is...
Whoa, I like it. I love it. That's perfect. Relationships are probably the most important thing. You don't need more money, you need more people. The people have the money. And look, you can have your circle of friends, but what he's talking about is a lot of people have a circle of friends. They can be an arm's distance friend, they can be acquaintances, but it's very, very, very important that you choose and are intentional who is in your corner, because not everybody in that circle can be in your corner. So guess what? So far, I like number 3 better than any other rules. All the other rules had some truth to it. All the other rules have some, good principles, but number 3 is solid inside and out.
You need to save and invest. Again, taking this back to the Old Testament, the Bible says, in the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil. You see, back then, if you had a carafe of oil, you were ready to trade and do business, and it was a sign of wealth. But let's be honest, the scene in Godfather wouldn't have been the same if Sonny was slamming a vat of choice oil on the table. It's different. So it's basically saying in the house of the wise are stores of money, treasures. And just by the way, the rest says, and a foolish man devours all he has. AKA, if you spend everything you make, you a fool. Been there, not going back.
Never doing that again.
Wise people save money. It's as simple as that. And if you don't know where to start, let's try an emergency fund. Because you're going to have a car wreck or lose a job or lose a digit on the 4th of July, and you're going to need some money so that you don't go back into a cycle of debt to pay for it. Then once you have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, you should begin to save and invest 15% of your income so that you can retire with dignity and take care of yourself. Because Lord knows if you spend all your money and hope the government has your back, you're going to be up a creek without a paddle, or your CPAP machine. Both equally important when you're on the river. All right, the last thing that will help you build wealth.
So number 4 is good. And I think there are ways that you can accomplish all of that, to save and invest, right? Because it is important to have money that's liquid, that you access it for, in case of emergency or what have you. But also I want to say that saving, money is meant to multiply. Money is meant to multiply and not just accumulate. It is a tool to be used and not to be viewed. So that's kind of where we got our company name, Black Diamond Money Moves. Money is currency. So we want to be moving money like the banks do to make money on our money, right? So, I think you should shift your mind and get it off of just saving, but go to the latter part of investing.
Wealth is all about generosity. And I'm not just talking about a transfer of funds here. I am talking about a spirit of cheerfulness where you decide to be a generous person. Because for one, generous people are more attractive. They smile. It's not all about them. They're always looking for ways they can help. When the grocery bag bottoms out and your garbanzo cans are rolling in road juice, they're the ones out there helping you pick it up. Generosity is a spirit that changes everything in your life, and it will put you in a position to build wealth. Think about this. If you're not generous, you're stingy, you're closed-fisted, and you don't want anything to leave your hands. But when you have your hands open, more can flow out, but also more can get in. So that's it. Those are the 5 things that will help you build wealth. And it's not because it's magic or something, it's mostly because it's common sense. But common sense is so rare now, it's like having a superpower. But if you commit and decide to do these 5 things, it will change your life, and it will change your family tree. It's changed mine. Heck, in 10 years, I went from a broke hipster with a negative net worth to a net worth millionaire, all thanks to these 5 things. And God, that's my Emmy speech. If I ever win.
It's just very, very unlikely.
And if you want to learn more about what each step in that journey looked like, plus see a snapshot of what I looked like in a sad H&M cardigan, keep watching this next video where I share my broke to millionaire journey, or you can click the link in the description to watch. Make sure to let me know in the comments which of these 5 things you have the hardest time with. Let's be #vulnerable with each other. Thanks for watching.
Hey, so here's the deal. Kudos. He went from A to B. He went from broke to millionaire. And he used those steps right, to get himself there. I like the guy. I have nothing bad to say about the guy whatsoever. I think that there are, again, every person is different, every situation is different, and you should always ask yourself, have on those steps that he gave, am I looking at everything in regards to step one? Is there anything else I can look at in step two, step three? I have nothing bad to say about the guy, even though he is with Papa Dave, but he admitted, he's not saying the stuff he's saying just because Papa Dave. But anyway, I like the guy. Stuff makes sense. That's it.